everyone. As you know, Ghostbusters Afterlife was supposed to come out this summer, but with COVID-19, a lot of movies got pushed back, and unfortunately that one was one of them. However, a lot of Ghostbusters related products were slated to come out when the movie did. And even though the movie did not, they still managed to get a couple things out on the shelves. And one of the things that I think is really cool, and I wanted to do an unboxing video for, were these real Ghostbusters. They re-released the real Ghostbusters figures. I remember when these toys came out in 1986. My first figure was actually Peter Venkman. I got it at a place called Toys by Roy in Townies Mall in Mesquite, Texas. While I didn't get all the figures back then, I did get the Green Ghost. I guess they hadn't figured out Slimer's name just yet for the toy purposes. And the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man. A friend actually gave me Winston. As far as Egon and Ray went, I got one of the Fright Features figures. There were a lot of really cool ghosts and things like that. They didn't use any of the ones from the TV show like the Boogeyman or Samhain or Sandman, but they did come up with a lot of ones like Sludge Bucket and Terror Trash. They just had some really unique things, and of course slime was everything. They always sold cans of ectoplasm with a little hidden ghost inside, because like these figures, they always came with like a little catchable ghost, which I thought was really cool. So you got the complete ghost busting experience. And these figures are pretty accurate recreations of the original figures. There are some slight differences, but I think unless you're like super meticulous, you're probably never going to notice the difference. The only thing that really stands out for me, and I'll zoom in on it right here, the figures I had, the little yellow cord that connects the proton pack and the neutrino wand, that was actually connected at the bottom, not in the back of the pack. These are just really great. I love the play action feature with the proton packs, because the little blasters, you could like twist the little knob, as you can see right there, and you could make it look like the effects from the movie. I just love the illustrations on these as well. They were really fun illustrations that really captured the look of the characters and kind of gave like a little fun thing. I mean, they were very stylized and extreme, but I just really loved all the way they looked. I kind of hate opening these. I love the packaging. I've always loved the packaging of these figures. They were always so stand out on the toy shelves. All of these are Walmart exclusives. That's just kind of the way toys are these days. I'll probably just keep the package backs, but I just like to have these up on the shelves. So let's get into the package backs. Again, just really nice. They did a very solid job of recreating the look of the package itself. You know, they show you how to operate the little gun. They show you the figures. There used to be over there like a little thing that they had some Ghostbusters roleplay equipment, but they've not put that on this. Obviously, even though it says Kenner on the front, there is Hasbro on the back. Okay, here's the Peter Venkman figure. He looks pretty accurate to the original figure. It has the Ghostbuster insignia on him. Now I did notice that these are slightly changed. They used to be kind of a slightly different design here on the clip back. I don't know if it's a memory playing trick on me, but he feels like a little smoother, a little lighter. Again, you know, it's something about a 30-year-old toy. This was actually one of my favorite action figures growing up. And you know how it goes when you move away, parents clean out stuff and they don't know what's what, and I didn't think about putting my Ghostbusters figures in a more protective area, so I lost my entire collection, which was a bummer. So it's kind of cool having this back again. Not exactly the same, but close enough, and I just really like having him back again. This is kind of hard to do with one hand, but as you can see, it kind of clips to his wrist. They didn't really design these to like hold them like they do in the movie, or basically like every other media, but basically you kind of spin these and they kind of look like the little proton beam blasting ghosts. So I thought it was just a really cool effect, and it's still a nice little effect now. So here is the pack attached. I used to have like these little notches right there that kind of clipped in a little differently, but I mean it's still a nice fit. It's just a very different fit, if that makes any sense at all. And if you notice, there's like a little Ghostbuster insignia on the side of the blaster. So, but yeah, overall it looks, you know, it feels close enough. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but you know, you just deal with what you get, I guess. And of course the little grabber ghost that comes with him. It seems like it's a little darker blue than the original figure, because as I said, this was like one of my favorite figures of all time, so I basically knew everything about it. But the plastic seems sturdy. It's a nice sculpt. I mean, it's accurate to the original toy. Let me put that right there. Overall, I would say this is very accurate to the original figure. I mean, there's tiny little changes here and there, but it's not a deal breaker. And if you've always wanted these or lost these or just wanted new versions of it that didn't have all the wear of play on them, then this is definitely the way to go. Okay, so here's Egon. So this is going to be a first for me. I had the Fright Features version with the blue bow tie and where his neck would stick up and his mouth would open. So that was kind of a very different version. Everything was about Fright Features or slime with the Ghostbusters line, and it made it a lot of fun. Okay, here's the Egon figure. I've already put his pack on him. I figured you don't need to see the pack put on 4 times in a row. You've probably already gotten the point. I really like the little ghost that came with him, the Gulper Ghost, because of all the different ones you could do, this one could actually be placed on someone's head like he was eating them. So I always thought that was kind of cool. The Egon figure is a really nice recreation of the original. Looks really good. Again, that soft plastic, I don't know, it just feels like it's a much softer plastic. And of course there's a couple changes with the proton pack and the neutrino wand. The neutrino wand, there was one of the original problems with the original toy was after a couple of uses of that, it would break off. So you always had to kind of be careful about those things. I figure these are going to go on display and not really see as much play as my originals did. But one thing, it's funny how like you never notice things when you're a kid, but they don't have the highlights on the uniforms. Like Egon's supposed to have pink, and it's funny because it even has it on the package. And like Venkman had green and Winston had red, and Ray didn't have any color for the first couple seasons, and then they changed that. Alright, we're getting ready to unpackage Ray with the Rapper Ghost. Kind of has that little monkey tail on it. So let me get this one opened up for display. Okay, here is the Ray figure unboxed. One of the things about the Rapper Ghost I've noticed is, I remember the original figure, he was a lot more translucent. This one's pretty solid outside of the hands and the tail tip. Alright, so here is Ray. Again, really nice recreation. I had the one where he had the ecto goggles on and his hair would raise and his ears would poke out. So it was kind of a strange figure, and he had like a Ghostbusters t-shirt right there. He has the orange beam as opposed to Peter's green and Egon's red. Okay, about to open up Winston. Let's check him out and see how he differs from his original figure. Here's Winston. He looks pretty much the same. The Chomper Ghost is a little more translucent, and I think I know why, because for whatever reason, this one had a flat base with the original, and it actually has a hollowed out base, but at least it gives them something of a more translucent glow than some of the other figures, which are pretty solid. And here's Winston up close, as you can see. Really nice rendition from the classic figure. They're pretty accurate. You aren't going to be able to really tell the difference too much. I mean, they're pretty one-to-one with the originals. Next up is the Green Ghost, otherwise known as Slimer. He's got a couple really cool little accessories. I always remember these. The watermelon pizza and giant steak. So let's check him out and get him out of the package. Here is the Green Ghost. He looks a little shorter now because he does have a little articulated tail, so you can kind of make him sit like that, but it's a balancing act between his tail and his hands. One of the things I always kind of didn't like about the Slimer figure was that he was always bigger than the figure, so it always looked out of scale, and you never could fit him properly into any of the vehicles or anything like that. Of course, he comes with his little items. What's funny is I've been talking a lot about soft plastic on these new figures. These are actually a lot harder in texture, and even like the pizza, it had a slightly different style. I mean, the pattern's right, but it had like a darker color and just a little different, but I mean, it's all correct. It's just slightly different, if that makes sense. One thing about this particular figure is, while I haven't really had much of a way of a basis of comparison, I do actually have an original Slimer. That is the original Slimer. I got that at a convention last year. I just thought it was kind of cool and the price was right. For comparison, I put the food items next to the new one, but as far as changes go, they're pretty spot on. And last but not least is the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man. Unfortunately, I don't have an original comparison for this one, but he's also looking really accurate to the original. So let's take him out and look at him. Here we are with the last figure, the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man. There's not really a lot that goes on with him, and whereas Slimer is too big, Stay-Puft is too small, but he's still a very good rendition of the Marshmallow Man. So, and definitely one of the more important pieces of the series, I think. The Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man doesn't do too much. You can move his arms around a little bit. There's no bending at the elbows, and you can move his head, and that is basically it for the Marshmallow Man. And there it is, the complete collection of the real Ghostbuster reissue figures from 2020. Overall, I'm really pleased with the figures. As I said, there are a couple minor differences. The plastic feels a little softer, the ghosts are a little darker, their proton packs are a little off. The only regret I have is the fact that they didn't do the Ecto-1. Out of all the integral Ghostbusters equipment, that was one piece that should have been included. However, even though all my stuff was purged as a kid, I did have one final piece. Now this is the original. This isn't something I got from a convention. This is actually mine from my childhood, complete with scuffs and everything. And I'm really pleased to say that it's in great condition. Everything still works. All the stickers are still there. It's a little slightly aged, but as far as everything goes, that is the original piece that I had as a kid. And if there were one piece to survive from my original collection, I'm glad that it was this one. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at the real Ghostbusters figures. I actually have another Ghostbusters unboxing planned, which I'll be releasing soon. Take care.